Hey, 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 we're live. It's that time. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Stop. I'd love to have music playing in the background, but then YouTube would get upset. And then what would we do? Uh, then you wouldn't be able to hear me at all. And then what would we do? There we go. Okay. Now that I got all my extraneous stuff done or out of the way. Oh, let's see what we got going on here. I'm too far that way, and I gotta go this way. I'm so confused. Okay. Anyway, here we are. We're here, right now. So it's excuse me, iced tea. Iced tea, one of my favorite beverages. So it is the 30th of the month, which means it's the last day of the ShutterAce Spring 2019 Night Fighter build. And last day meaning we'll close it out sometime tomorrow. But, as I said in the beginning, there's no prizes or anything involved. It's just a fun thing. So, no big deal, right? Jeff on the forum, Jeff Steffen, actually finished first, I believe. And I finished mine probably about an hour after him. And let me look. Ken got so close. Okay, Jeff, 2 hours ago. Mine 45 minutes ago. So yeah, Jeff beat me by about an hour or so. So cool, good for him. But here's my entry, and I'm going to show it to you, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. This is the Monogram 148 scale kit. This was out of the dual combo kit with the P47. That's out of this box right here. I already built the P47, but it's been waiting for decals forever. So, this thing's pretty cool. It wasn't a horrible kit. There were some fit issues like there are with these things. Mainly the wing. The wing root wasn't too bad. Let me take these off. I did not glue the canopy sections on. There were some issues back here as normal on these things. And here, this was huge. This was a giant gap here. And yes, I have the stick because I forgot to put the nose weight in. Sorry. Oh, I just realized it. I didn't uncover the landing light. Oh well. So, what are the issues? Well, other than the fit issues, most of it's just me and my painting and stuff. So I'll tell you what I did here. I took and this dark gray is Ace Hardware Premier Gray Primer. If you heat the can up before you put the stuff on, it's awesome. It was a little windy the day I did it, and I had some dusting, so I had to go back and hit it with a little sanding pad and just knock the edges down on it, you know, something like this. Just smooth it out a little bit, no big deal. But I got some areas where the airbrush spit a little bit, like right here and stuff. You know, I'm calling this a guy dropped a paint can type thing. And you know, my goal with any kit, but especially these old monogram kits, is these are just fun for me, and I don't get all hung up on them because they have issues and they're never going to be perfect. And just go with it and enjoy the thing, right? So that's what I do, and I don't really get all caught up with them. Late was biffing on Lee Fogel's AR-196. Biffing? Or bidding? Biffing. I went to high school with a biff. I think, if I remember right. Anyway, back to where we're at here. So Ace Hardware premium gray primer in the spray can. Stynylrez black primer on the bottom. This is completely fictitious, by the way. This, you know, this is not a these things didn't see service, so this is completely bogus. So just keep that in mind. And then we have Polyscale RLM 84. And I wanted it to look ratty, but I didn't do as good of a job as I had hoped. But again, you know, these are fun builds for me. I don't get that hung up on it. I don't worry about colors, and these old monogram kits are just here so that I can have a good time. I save my Tamiya kits and stuff for when I want to get serious. So, and what I did here, let me show you so the engine bays, I just painted them with the black primer when I was painting the bottom, and then I just went in there with my silver pencil, rubbed it around a little bit, highlighted some stuff and whatnot. Cockpits, my standard MO of paint and white pencil. Just rubbed it with the white pencil, and you know, that always works well. So, but what I really want to show you guys here is where I kind of goofed up. Now, once I had the decals on here, and speaking of decals, you know, I didn't try the strong on this one, but I really can't say enough about this Tamiya Mark Fit. They have the Mark Fit and they have the Mark Fit Strong. I've been using microscale for decades, like a lot of people have. This is a one-step thing, and it works really well. Like I said, I haven't tried. This is the Mark Fit Strong. I've only used this once when I was testing, and I haven't really come across a reason to need to do that again, to use it again. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. But bidding. That's that Japanese AR-196, right? Hey, I saw a profile of a DO-335 single seat with it was Japanese with red spinners, and it was the dark green and the light gray and the hinamarus or whatever, the red circles, the meatballs on it. It's kind of interesting. Um, so anyway, I thought it was interesting. But back to this thing here. So um, once I got the decals done, I dull coated it. Not really a big issue. I love dull coat. It's great stuff. It's a flat. If you don't know what it is, it's Testor's Flat Clear. It is lacquer. Um, but it's foolproof, which is good if you're a fool like me. Right? Foolproof is never a bad thing. Um, so I dull coated it, and went back to took the masking off the canopies. Now here's where I ran into a problem. Not taking the masking off. So I masked these with actually, this is an old piece of Testor's foil. This happens to be chrome, but bare metal foil works, and the stuff works great. The only issue is the adhesive. So if you're using a solvent-based paint that's going to really stick to the plastic, you can go in with a toothpick. You know, take a toothpick, cut it off at an angle so that you have it's not going to focus. So you have like an oval on the end of it. Anyway, and you can rub that foil off easily. Very, 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 very easily. You don't have to cut around the edges or nothing. It just rubs right off. Frames look great. No issues. Problem is the adhesive. Okay, so dull coat's on. We've rubbed the foil off. How do we get the adhesive off? Well, rubbing alcohol will take the adhesive off. And that's fine, but they have something like that in anime, I think. Yeah, well, you know, there is the 109 that's in that the Germans gave to the Japanese for testing. Anyway, so I used my rubbing alcohol to get the adhesive off of the clear parts, and I forgot that when you get that stuff on the dull coat, sometimes in places it does ugly things and it makes messes like you see here on this wing root right here. Okay, now all that is a reaction with the dull coat, and it's making it makes it frosty. So but what you can do is take a Q-tip here. Let me get a clean one before I stick it in my mouth. Take a Q-tip here. Get it wet. See that? It disappears. So what does that tell you? Well, that tells you the easy way to fix this is with some Future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Future on them in those spots, and then later on I will go back to it with the dull coat. Got a little one here on this side. deal with. So there's that one. Then I got one right here. And then right across here. Lift this up. I can't lift it up, huh? See, it's just going away. Can you see that? And this works anytime you know you're dealing with clear parts and stuff, or with a clear coat and it frosts on you. Anytime a clear flat frosts on you, all you got to do is hit it with a gloss, and it'll come right back. Because the reason it's frosty is because it's really, 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 really flat. I mean, if you understand what a flat coat does, it just then it makes sense that, see that? Boom, it's gone. See that? So what will happen now is I will let this sit, and I might have to come back and hit it again, maybe. That was a lot more than I needed there. And then I'll just have to come back and dull coat those areas again. Not really a problem, not a big deal. So yeah, anytime you get any kind of an effect like that, or you see an issue, like anytime you see a frosting from a clear coat, you know, this is an option. Is just hitting it with some gloss and bringing it back. Okay, so back to the future with you. And I got some alcohol here, and I get the future out of my brush, and we're good to go. Yeah, I noticed we have the same badges. Yeah, I did notice that. I saw that. I was watching a thing on YouTube the other night on destroyers and night fighters. It was labeled as night fighters, but it ended up being on about destroyers and night fighters, basically about 110s and 210s and 410s. But it was pretty good. It was very in depth, and it was like an hour and 15 minutes. But it was pretty good. So anyway, so I'll let this sit obviously and dry, and then I will come back at some point and hit it with some flat. And what I'll actually do is I will take some dull coat and thin it way out, and well, there's two ways to do it. You can brush it, which is risky because it is lacquer. It's not super hot, but it is still lacquer. You can just mask the area off with Post-it notes and hit it real quick. I use the dull coat in the spray can because it's simple, and like I said, it's foolproof. It's absolutely foolproof. Um, so anyway, so I'm going to put this back here for now. I did not glue these on. I'm going to glue them later, and we'll go from there. I also, if you notice, I did not put the engine cover doors on. I found a reference photo that had the rear engine door totally removed. And I thought, wow, that's cool because the door kind of gets in the way of you being able to see anything. And then, I'm looking at the front door and the front door here. You put this on, and you really have to kind of get your head down there to see anything. So I just left that one off too. I mean, why not, right? So there it is. It's not perfect, but it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm going to put it over here and get it out of the way. Whoa. And we can look at something else. So, anyway. Where am I? There I am. I opened up that 26-year-old can of tested dull coat and it worked fine. Yeah, I'm sure it did because, you probably remember, I had, up until maybe 2 years ago, I had a can. I bought a bunch of extra color for some British stuff that I was building when I was living in Beaumont. And I think I bought that stuff in Riverside. But anyway, I had one of those tins. I still had the blue for the bottom for the RAF Desert Camo. Can't remember what it's called. I still had that up until about 5 years ago, and it was still perfectly fine. And I used the last of it, and I was kind of bummed. But yeah, but the chemicals were different then. Even the lacquers and stuff now aren't the same. 30-year-old jars of well, look at Ken. Ken's using old Pactra stuff, even acrylic stuff that still works fine. So yeah, what do you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do about this funky stuff that they're feeding us, right? So now what? That's the big question. Now what? Well, the Average Joe's D-Day group build ends next Saturday. Let me look. I don't know. I want to say like 6:30 or something, like 6 o'clock in the morning or something. So basically, it ends Friday night. And I was going to build my Monogram P61, but that's not going to happen. So, what do we do? Well, I was thinking about building Monogram C47. I'm on vacation this week, so I do have some time. Although it is the wife and I's 25th anniversary on Tuesday. So, and then we got some stuff we got to do tomorrow. So there's 2 days right there. So I need something I can build in about 3 days in order to make it. And I have some things that'll probably work. Being what I have a Tamiya bow fighter. I have multiple Tamiya P47s, but I don't want to. Those are pretty involved. I mean, they're simple, but they're pretty involved. So anyway, I got to think my way through it. I don't know that I have enough time to do the C47. I mean, I have enough time to do anything. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. We'll work on that. I just finished that 335 about a half an hour before we started here, so yeah. So what else are we working on? So I got the F16 is really kind of close. I actually don't have to deliver this now until after the weekend after Labor Day. So I got time, but it's really really close. I do have one friggin' problem, and that is that the 82 on the there it is. That 82 and the serial number got jacked up. So I'm gonna have to print another decal and redo that, but that's not a big deal. Just something I gotta do. Otherwise, it's great. It looks good. It won't be a problem. So then what? Where do we go from there? I'm not really sure. But like I said, I have the Tamiya bow fighter. I have the C-47. I have multiple heavy bombers. I have A-20s. I have multiple B-25 kits. Ooh, I could do a B-25J. I don't know. I have to think about it. But I better not think too long, because I should probably cut parts tonight. Right. Although I don't know, I'm pretty burned out right now. But it's raining and stuff, and there ain't much going on. So anyway, I don't know that this is going to be a long show, because I really don't have much to say. Ain't got much to say about that. What was I gonna? I wanted to talk about this stuff. Remember this? Remember seeing this? The rapid fuse. So I used this on the 335. To fill the gaps. And I want to tell you that this is great stuff. It worked really well. It's nice and thick. It spans gaps easily. It sands well. It's DAP rapid fuse. Wood adhesive cures in 30 minutes. Ready to sand. Ready to plane, sand, and stain. Right? Interior, exterior works on all types of wood. Great for other surfaces. ABS, melamine, PVC, particle board, rubber, steel, glass, stone, butt cheeks, and more. No, it doesn't say butt cheeks. But it's contains ethyl cyanacrylite. Yeah, you know what I mean. Ca, ethyl Ca, blah blah blah. $12 shipped for this. It's 4 ounces. it's good stuff. I mean, it's a great deal. I don't know what else to say. Get some. That's what I'll say. Get some. Get some. Come get some. So yeah. So maybe that's it. I haven't made any progress on the Coral Sea, and those are both going to Denver. So the F-16 and the Coral Sea. One's for my brother-in-law. The other's for my um, soon-to-be nephew-in-law, I guess. So yeah, we'll get that done up. I'm going to be in the market for a laser printer at some point, a color laser, because the inkjets, it's just too fuzzy, man. Just too fuzzy. Fuzzy wuzzy. Was a bear. But other than that, yeah. So, hey, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time here just yabbering. But for everybody that participated in the Night Fighter build, thank you. It was fun. I'm going to leave the group open. You know, it's like I said in the beginning, it's not about really finishing on time and whatnot. It's just about finishing. And it's fun to have a bunch of people doing the same thing. So those of you that are still working on them, have at it. Please post them when you're done with them. I want to see them. Maybe nobody else does, but I do. No, everybody wants to see them. Everybody wants to see them. And then, yeah, what was that? Jeff, you posted something on a post on Average Joe's that I thought was really good. Something to the effect of, all my models have the same two issues. One, something's wrong with them. Two, they all look great on the shelf, or something like that. And that's absolutely true. I read that and I was like, wow, that's perfect. That's great. I'm going to steal that. No, I'm not. But yeah, that's absolutely correct. Two things in common. That's it. Two things in common. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better at all. It was like, wow, that's Confucius stuff right there. Confucius say, plastic model have two things in common. But anyway, so I guess I'm going to have to get a new background picture, since we're going to be working on something else. You know what's interesting is this thing came out in, what is this set? 1987. And no swastika, which is interesting. And something else that's interesting, if you notice on the painting here, I should probably keep this, but you can download them, and somebody's already scanned them. Because the flaps are down on the 335, which I find interesting. But anyway, straight out of the Jim Deck Zen modeling. Yeah, who cares? Just finish it, right? Nobody's gonna see it. Who's gonna see it? And anybody that is gonna see it's gonna appreciate it anyway. Plain and simple. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna go do some Zen. I'm gonna go relax and plan the rest of my week. Being on vacation doesn't mean I don't have to do anything. My son dragged home a Volkswagen Sandrail a couple of days ago. So that's fun. That's fun. Anyway, that's it. Enough yakking out of me. Take care of the people you love, and we'll see you probably long before next weekend, but we'll be around. All right. Bye now.